I had it playing there.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rescue Owners Live. My name is Kirk. I'm your captain, Captain Kirk. And wow, let's remove that little time frame there. How about that? That sounds good. And then let's throw up this little. I know we have a cool little bit. There we go. It's my name, your name. Oh, actually, this is my name. You're also on with the one and only Beth Mote. Thank you for joining us. This is Rescue Owners Live, Season 2, Episode 23. We just celebrated our full first year anniversary and our 7th year anniversary of marriage. So there's all kinds of anniversaries going on.
All the things.
Which is pretty cool. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, Rescue Owners Live is all about helping you grow your business more effectively, efficiently, and profitably, all while achieving your personal, professional, financial goals. Mm-hmm. And so we've been doing this for over a year now, every single week, coming to you with content that is 100% free to you. But man, if you apply the stuff that we're talking about, it will absolutely blow up your business in a good way. And I hope you take notes. I hope these are, things that you value, because we value you. And that's why we're doing this, is because we want you to grow your business. And I geek out on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yes, he does.
She's like, we're in bed late at night. Like, oh, got a great idea. We should talk about this. And you're like, shut up. All right. So what I like to do today is talk about sales. Why? Because we have a sales execution workshop coming up next month. I think it's the first Saturday of next month. And so if you want to join that is definitely something you want to be a part of, because sales, and I'm trying to pull up my notes here. Let's see, got a workbook, instructor manual. We'll go with a workbook. I think, no, that's your workbook. I need my, make sure that, but what did you do today? How many calls did you make?
It wasn't probably as many as some people in here made, but no, it was a little over 100.
Okay.
So,
nice.
But I had a lot of sales conversations. So
that's good. Can you tell us the difference between like a dial or a call and a sales conversation?
Yeah. So, I put in a number in my phone, or press a number, however you're entering it. That's a dial. It starts ringing. I pick up, I dial someone. Whereas a sales conversation is where not necessarily you setting an appointment, because you could still pick up and talk to someone for a minute. That's not a sales conversation. A sales conversation would be specifically a conversation in which you got to a point where you had the opportunity to pitch or offer them your product, and they had an opportunity to buy. So it's a situation in which that person is having the ability to purchase a product, versus just talking to you, essentially.
Did you hear something in the background?
Yes, I do. I don't know where that is, though. It's not. That's what I was seeing, if it was on your phone.
I wonder if we're getting Zoom bombed and StreamYard.
I think that's possible.
Do y'all, in the chat, do y'all hear something kind of in the background? If you do, let us know, because I don't know. I'm hearing something in my ears right now, and it's kind of distracting. So if it's distracting me, I'm not sure if it's actually going through. But if it's not going through and it's not distracting to you guys, then we're just going to keep on rocking and rolling. So part of our sale, you still hear it?
No.
I mean, it must be.
It's gone.
I mean, we're hearing things.
It's gone. I think we're good.
It's a miracle. Okay, so sales execution workshop. I would love to be able to give this content to everyone for free. It is $9.97. That's a 2-day execution workshop, and it's all inclusive, man. It includes every single thing you can possibly think of when it comes to sales. We're going to be talking about the elements of the perfect sales process. We're going to be talking about the greeting. We're going to be talking about fact finding, the demo, the close. That's kind of important, right?
Yeah, you can. Well, there's a lot of people who are really good at the entire process up until the close.
They fall apart.
And they can do everything but the problem is, when they get to that point, they can't finalize it. And so it's not beneficial to you. It's not beneficial to your client. Honestly, it can make people feel like they end up just wasting the time spent with you.
Mhm.
So it's important for there to be some sort of conclusion at the end of your call, and that means you have to be good at closing.
And good at closing is very important.
It's a delicate time.
It is a delicate time because you're going from, you just did the greeting.
Mhm.
You went through your fact finding questions. I mean, these are questions that are, the quality of your questions determine the quality of your results. So these are good quality questions that you're asking that has potentially multiple meanings to the answer. So if I ask a certain question, maybe I'm not asking a yes no question. Maybe it's an open ended question that
Yeah.
allows them to talk to you.
It's better to do that.
100%. Oh my goodness.
You have to be careful because you can say the same thing but have a completely different result. So you can have two questions that are asking the exact same information, but one of them asks it in an open-ended way that gets them to elaborate, and another one gets them to just say yes or no.
Okay. Could you give me an example? Do you have anything off the top of your
I
head?
was trying to think if I had anything. I have a feeling you would say that.
If you don't, it's okay. I was just curious if you had something in mind.
Do you have a process for how you like say it's B2B? Do you have a process for how you choose vendors?
And then they'll
Yes.
say yes
No.
or no.
Instead, if you say, what does your process for choosing vendors look like?
Or tell me more about the process.
Because even if they don't have a process, then you're going to get a lot more information than just no. They're going to say, well, honestly, like when we pick vendors, sometimes we do it XYZ way, other times this. We don't really have a set process, but look there, you've gotten so much information. They've just said, hey, one time we did it this way. So now you have one way that they've handled a process of picking people. And then they go, oh, well, and another time we did this. So you have a couple different areas of which, okay, well, I know in both of these, they said that this person was involved. So they're definitely a decision maker, or, you know, they handled this one this way and that one that way. But I think, this might be the reason why. So it gives you a lot more information to work off of, and as well as ask questions. Okay, well, I know you said with that vendor process, you didn't actually have them fill out any paperwork. Did they know someone already? Did you already have a relationship with them? Oh, well, yeah, we did. Okay, well, how would you handle the process if you didn't already have an established relationship?
Or how can I establish that relationship?
Yeah,
That's
true.
the question I'd ask.
But you have a different streams of that you can take to try to get your answer now than if they just say yes or no. You have nowhere to go with that.
Right. You can't build
It's
off
just
of that.
awkward now.
You can, but it's like very tough and it's just like very transactional, right?
As well as it stops the flow of conversation.
Yeah.
So instead of building a relationship with that person, even in just like how you talk, because if I have a very open-ended conversation, we're going to get into other things outside of just specifics that we're talking about. They might say, oh, well, we did this, but we were on a trip in Panama. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I love Panama. I go there every summer. Oh, that's awesome.
Have you checked out this place and
Mhm.
have you eaten here?
And you want to be careful how much you sidetrack.
Sure.
You want to be able to bring it right back, but you're building credibility with that person.
But you as a salesperson need to be able to control the conversation,
Mhm.
and part of controlling that conversation is maybe throwing out a red herring every now and then and relating and like having a side tangent, but
Yeah.
quickly relating it right back to the topic at hand and the next fact finding question.
And with that topic of controlling conversation, I think sometimes when that's said, people can have a negative connotation with
Mm.
it. Oh, control. I don't want to control the conversation. Someone is always controlling the conversation, whether you want to call it that or not. There's always someone who has an upper hand in a conversation and who is the one directing, let's not say upper hand, the person who is directing where the conversation goes. And if you're not sure who that is, it's not you.
That's right.
So the easiest way to have control of where the conversation is going, and that's beneficial for the client too, because if you are not controlling the conversation, then they're not going to receive nearly as much benefit as if you were. And so you want to have control of that. And the best way to do that is questions, because at the end of the day, if I pick up the phone and go, hey, I just want the price. So just tell me the price and then I'll decide if I even want to hear anything else. Well, tell me, why is the price the most important factor to you? Come back with a question for them.
But I would also like address the price too. I would say, hey, I'd be happy to give you on numbers. Let me ask you what, then go to that question.
Or
like,
don't ignore it.
Acknowledge their concern, their complaint, their objection, whatever the case, and then ask your next fact-finding question, because that's going to tell you a lot.
Or for example, if that's how they start out the conversation, and I have had people do that before. Normally what I say is, great question. We're definitely going to get to that. We're 100% transparent with our price. However, I don't know exactly what you need yet.
Right.
So it would be a disservice to you if I simply threw out a price. Our products range from, books at $7 to products that go up to $65,000 plus. And so I really can't just give you a number because I don't know what you need yet. So let me ask you and then go into some fact-finding questions. So you're addressing their concern, you're giving them a price range, but as is obvious with my answer, I really can't,
Right.
Depending on how you're getting your leads or how these people are coming to you, unless they have specifically said, hey, I really want to know about this one product, then there's no possible way for you to give them a specific price because you have no idea what they need.
Right. And that only happens through the fact-finding questions, unless you have like an appointment setter, unless you have a real, like, a downstream where, and you're maybe the closer, right? And this is like, all right, you ready to rock and roll? Okay, here's the price. Here's the process, sign here. And it'll be delivered on this date and you'll be rocking and rolling your first whatever, or,
It depends on what you're selling.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if it's like a program or training, they may come in saying, hey, I want this product. I just want to know for sure what the price is. That might not be the best product for them. That might be the only one that they've heard about. And so it still might be important to, address their concern, but then go back and say, hey, just to make sure we got you on the best possible product for you so that this is going to benefit you as much as possible. Let me ask you a few questions and then get their permission to talk to them more.
Grant Cardone, on the topic of price, Grant Cardone, Mr. 10X himself, he tells a story about how this nonprofit was asking a really wealthy person for a donation of $10,000. And they know he had, Grant's question is, hey, does he have the wherewithal? Is he the decision maker, right? Because you got to have those two. You have to be the decision maker, and then they have to have the wherewithal, which is the financial ability to make the purchase. Both were a check. So really it came down to, okay, why is he not actually donating? And so Grant got on, a call with this guy, and he was like, hey, I don't know his name. Hey, John, reason for the call, I'm calling on behalf of, XYZ nonprofit. And I understand that the reason for the call is I just want to know why you haven't, donated $10,000 yet. Or why you haven't donated yet. I don't think
I don't think he said a number.
Why you haven't donated yet. And I'm totally butchering the story, and he tells it better. But bottom line is, he got an answer, and that answer was, I didn't think that $10,000 would be that much of an impact.
Would make a difference.
Make a difference. And that was his DBM, dominant buying motive. In this case, he's giving, so dominant giving motive, right?
And so Grant said something to the extent of, what do you think would make a difference? He's like, well, I think, at least you need at least $100,000. Awesome.
Great.
Can I put you down for $100,000? And the guy was like, sure. Yeah, let's do that.
And so that to the point of price is like, you don't know why it is people aren't buying or giving in this case without asking good quality questions. And that question in this case was, hey, why haven't you bought, or why haven't you given yet? And that's a manager call essentially is, if Beth is working on a client or a lead and she's been, working them for a while, and, maybe they ghosted or whatever, they were close and then all of a sudden they disappeared. I might step in and say, hey, this is KIRK with Brusky's site. I understand you were working with Beth. I just wanted to know why you haven't bought from her yet. And then silence. I will be quiet until they answer the question, and then they'll give me an answer. And so that's what a manager call is.
Yeah.
And so that is what Grant did on behalf of that nonprofit. And look, 10X to literally the donation that they were looking to get from 10,000 to 100,000.
Yeah.
And so you can do this in your business as well. And I would highly encourage you to do that. Other stuff that we're talking about in the sales execution workshop, follow up, inbound sales calls, outbound sales calls. These are all very important things.
Yeah.
And follow up, by the way, that goes whether you had success, they bought from you, you're still going to follow up with them. Why? I'm going to ask for a referral. I'm going to ask for, hey, who else do you know that needs this service? Because guess what? Now's the time to strike and get them to, if you don't have a second sell, and like the second sell is the referral. The referral is, hey, I want you to really validate your purchase in your mind by giving me a referral, and maybe even writing a review, right? Those are things that are going to validate the purchase that they just made, and then now they can start talking about it to people, right?
Yeah.
You're smiling over there. What's up?
No, I just agree.
Okay. Always agree. I love it. Let's see. Sales opportunities. Did we talk about sales opportunities last week? I can't remember. We talked about sales process. Should be simple. We talked about that.
Yeah, I think that's where we had stopped.
So did we talk about this at all? Sales opportunities?
I don't think.
Would you like to hear about some sales opportunities?
I don't think so.
Let's talk about some sales opportunities. Number one is incoming calls. Who here has incoming calls? We have incoming calls.
Mm-hmm.
That's an exciting thing when you have incoming calls.
It's really nice to not have to call out and have them call in.
Now, you need both. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it is an exciting thing when someone's like, hey, I found you online. I noticed you offer this, and I just wanted to get a quote, or I just wanted to sign up for the training, or whatever the case may be.
Well, it's a warm lead.
It's a very warm lead. It doesn't get much warmer than that. It's like they sought you out because of whatever marketing or positioning you did in the market. And so, I love, man, inbound is awesome. I love inbound because, I mean, like this today, like one of the calls in particular, I remember she's like, hey, I need this training on, do you have availability? I was like, absolutely. We got on this particular training this Saturday at 8 a.m. Would you like me to put you down? Absolutely. Send her invoice, got it paid, boom, boom, boom. And so like that was an inbound call, and it was one call close essentially.
Well, there are two things. One, you should always push for a one call close unless that's not how your structure is. But what was I gonna say? But they've done all of their due diligence, like at the point that they're calling you. And I mean, you got people that are information gatherers, that's their hobby. But for the most part, when people are calling into your company, they've pretty much made their decision.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of either collecting their information or getting them to admit that they've made their decision. Sometimes they take a little bit more of a push than others, but you got the people too that call and they're like, yeah, I know this is what I want. Like, bill me for it. Let's do this.
Yeah. And
they've stalked your Instagram. They've stalked your Facebook. Yeah. They've thought about it for months. And then they're finally like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to call them.
You have an educated buyer in pretty much every industry nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And
they may know more than salespeople.
Well, they've already purchased it in their mind. They just need to find someone to purchase it from. The majority of the sale has already happened through the research that they've already done on you and your competition. If there's an inbound call and they're calling you, it's done.
Well, and often too, I would say, especially in today's economy, culture, people often have bought a lot of stuff in their minds, and it's not even your company holding them back. It's just their finances. And so at the point that they get their finances to where either they actually have the funds in their bank account or they feel comfortable enough spending the funds, that's the point when they call. And it's truly just at that point, just money that's holding them back versus necessarily research or knowledge or anything like that.
Yeah. Number 2 is outbound calls. All right. So inbound calls is people calling you, and then outbound calls is you calling them. This is where you have a list of leads, and these are people that may be warm, maybe cold, maybe lukewarm, maybe hot.
Maybe people that reached out to you via like social media need a call back.
Yeah.
They might have even asked you to call them. Or it may be just a list of people that you're calling.
The faster you
don't know you.
Yeah, the faster you can respond, the higher likelihood you're going to close the deal.
Well, because it goes from a hot, warm lead to cold if you don't respond back.
I literally have been on a call with someone, got a call from someone else, and by the time I got off that call and called them, they're like, "Oh, we already found someone else to do that."
Yeah.
I'm like, man.
Some industries are worse than others, but
So like that's how important it is to, first of all, answer your phone, and second of all, be available, because if you're not available to answer that phone, and like obviously have office hours, you're not doing demos and stuff at midnight. You need to have a life. You need to get sleep. But things to consider. Number 3, sold customers. So again, these are your sales opportunities. So if you have a CRM, a customer relationship management system, okay, there's all kinds out there. If you don't have one, you need one, because you need to know who has bought from you, who you've contacted, how many times have you contacted them, where they are in the sales process, have they been sold, have they not been sold. And for number 3, sold customers, you literally have a list of people that you have sold in the past. Guess what? These are people that want to buy from you again because you did an excellent job. You rolled out the red carpet and you delivered above expectations, on time, under budget, whatever the case may be. And they want to work with you again. So sold customers are a great sales opportunity for second, third, fourth sales contracts, even maybe even more referrals like we talked about above.
Yeah.
Number 4, unsold customers. Man, I have literally, probably close to $1 billion in unsold, like, because I assign a dollar value with every single person that I talk to. When I send them a proposal, and everyone gets a proposal. When I send them a proposal, that there's a dollar value assigned to their name, a deal, and then where they are in that deal. If I get to the point where it's like, hey, stop calling me, whatever, I mean, it's just dead, then I throw them on like a dead. Like I throw them on a like closed, lost, meaning I lost. I take full responsibility at all times because it was my fault that I lost them, right? So what I do is I put them in a column that says closed, lost, and like that literally probably, I'm curious, let me see. I said $1 billion, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't think it's $1 billion. That would be a lot of contacts. I would be very impressed.
Yeah. Let's see here. I wish it gave me like a full, like, overall of every single column, Let's see.
No. I don't know exactly where you're
lead generated. Oh, okay. I'm gonna look at my
closed, lost.
No, it's in the millions.
Still.
Yeah. So
millions.
Yeah,
Nice.
I have literally millions of dollars of people that were not sold. Right. I have almost 1 million currently in proposals sent, and I have about 250,000 in lead generated, or like leads that I need to reach out to. And so like this is kind of like my sales process, my sales funnel, and this is all in that CRM. And I'm able to like pull up numbers real quick, nice and easy, because it's all here. It's a beautiful thing. And so let's see here. That's unsold customers. You have a massive amount of people that you've reached out to that probably said no to you. And so that's still an opportunity. Give them 3 months, 6 months, a year. Reach back out to them again.
Well, and keep, if you can, retarget them with ads.
Yeah, if you're savvy enough to do that, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, man, you could like geofence every single one of your clients. And every time they go to work, it's like KIRK MOTE pops up on their screen whenever they're scrolling Facebook instead of doing the job. It's like, KIRK MOTE, you ready to buy?
HR is like, I see him everywhere.
He's everywhere. Hey, by the way, that is your number one job, problem as a business owner. All right, obscurity. People don't know who you are, what you do, why you do it. You got to show them. You got to tell them. You got to be everywhere. You got to be omnipresent, right?
Well, and people can sometimes, take a second to realize that what you talk about is what you do. I know I've had people, post about stuff and reaching out about stuff and telling people, and then have someone reach out about a product that I've sold before. And they're like, I know you post a lot about this, so I know you like it a lot. Do you know where I could buy it? Like,
from me?
I sell it too. Like I post about it a lot.
I don't post because like it this much. I post because I sell it.
Well, but also, yes,
both,
I do like it this much, but like I don't post that much about everything that I utilize. Like I
Right.
post about things I like that I don't sell, but I don't post about them every single day. Like
Right.
there is a balance to that, as well as, on those posts you're talking about where they can purchase and where they can get it and where they can buy it. And people still will miss those somehow and go, oh, I just saw that, there was this fitness program, or there was this, lawn service or whatever, but I didn't realize it was
Plumber,
you.
electrician,
So
house flipper, like
yeah.
whatever it is, right? I mean, like fill in the blank with whatever job you're doing. Hey, I work at a gym. Hey, I run a CPR training business.
You
Hey,
can do I don't know if I like this or not, but everyone keeps posting this like fake dialogue between Amber Heard and
oh man,
Johnny
I
Depp.
saw this so many times. I was like, how could I
Oh gosh,
do it?
no, you don't
And
need
then
to
I was
do
like,
it.
you know what?
Everyone else
It's been done.
is doing it.
I'm too late. If I was first to it, it would be funny. But
I would
at this
argue
point, I'm
that
like,
the first two people I saw, it was funny, and then it wasn't.
right, exactly.
So congratulations to the first two people I saw.
Whoever put it up first.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Referrals. So your sales opportunities, again, these are a list of your sales opportunities. So another sales opportunity are your referrals. So when part of your sales process, you should be asking for referrals, whether they closed or say everyone closes, right? Whether they bought from you or not,
Yeah.
right? Always ask for a referral. Hey, who else in your network would be interested in XYZ service? And then you're going to get a name, you get a number or an email, both.
Yeah, you got to be specific about that, though.
Yeah. So referrals are huge, and like there's awesome opportunity, and you got to strike while it's hot, because guess what? That referral probably just spoke to that person that either bought or didn't buy from you that gave the referral recently, and maybe even about you. And so the sooner you can reach out to them, or I like to ask for email introduction in a lot of cases, depending on the size of the client.
Email, text.
Yeah. And so that referral is like, hey, this is KIRK. With Rescue Site, we were talking about defibrillator programs. We bought. I know that you don't have one yet. Would like to introduce you and get that. Maybe KIRK can help you out, and then I take it from there.
Well, and for example,
which is a great referral, by the way. If you ever want to do a referral for us, that's how you do it.
For example, if you are a home remodeler and you just did someone's bathroom, encouraging or asking for referrals shortly after it's finished in that first week, 2 weeks, that's going to be your best time, because that's when they're going, hey, look at our amazing new kitchen, look at our amazing new bathroom, whatever it is you had done. And everyone else is going to be like, honey, I think we need to redo our bathroom. I've been wanting to do this forever, and this one looks so beautiful, so let's do it. And so everyone that they heard go, we should do this too, or I really like this, they're going to be like, oh, well, let me think. You said you want a referral. Amber said that she thought that was awesome, and Ashley mentioned it too. Let me reach out to them and share your contact information with them.
If you could do a video referral, man, that's powerful.
Yeah.
So much more powerful than a written. Writtens are great. Don't get me wrong. But if you can post to your the gram, if you can post to YouTube, to Facebook, to Instagram, all the things with a raving review of, man, let me tell you what, Captain KIRK, he did an excellent job of doing XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking for XYZ, you don't need to look any further than talking to KIRK, Captain KIRK, right? I mean, whatever that referral looks like. And so that video is going to be so powerful.
Well, and you
can use it, reuse it.
You don't have to have it be super professional. It doesn't have to be whatever. Just literally pull out your phone and be like, hey, and start recording. Be like, so what did you tell me that you loved about your new cabinets the most? Oh, well, I thought that you guys did a great job communicating with me, and it was done quickly, and I really loved the color and how it turned out, and whatever else. Awesome. Thank you so much. And then just say, who did you work with? Whatever, however you want to do that. But just a short, 30 seconds, just having them say, hey, I loved this because of this and this and this. It was great working with XYZ company.
And by the way, to her point of it doesn't have to be professional. It depends on your industry. If my industry, if I show up in jeans and I'm a plumber, guess what? On your phone is perfect because that is the type of person you are. That's the type of industry you're in.
Mhm.
You're in your jeans. You're talking whatever. If you're trying to sell, let's say financial services, you better be in a tie. It better be professional. It better have lighting. Like, I mean, these are things that you need to have because they expect a higher level of professionalism when you're dealing with someone finances and taxes and those kind of things.
Well, and I would argue even with that, though, obviously your personal appearance needs to be of a higher caliber, but I would argue that you could potentially still do client testimonials that were a little bit more casual.
Sure.
And again, depending on what specific part of financial services, that's huge
Realm.
service. But I think there still are some places for that, especially in today's day and age. I feel like things have gotten more and more casual. But with B2B, I would argue that definitely should be more professional.
For sure. Sales opportunities number 6, outbound visits. Okay. These are times where you're literally knocking on doors. You're showing up to your client or future client, so a prospect. I was trying to say prospect and client at the same time. I can't even try. Anyway, so these are outbound visits. So important because your competition is not doing this. Your competition is waiting at home for that inbound call that's never going to happen because they're not doing marketing, right? Oh, I got a website. Psh, is it ranking? No, but I have a website. Like, okay, that's not going to do anything for you. And so you got to break out of obscurity. You got to market yourself. And part of marketing will be those outbound visits, which is also a sales opportunity. So if you can get in front of your client, build that rapport and have a conversation, put your hand in their hand, shake it, look eye to eye, look professional, and have some good conversation. Maybe bring them some donuts for breakfast on a Friday morning. I don't know, right? Pay for pizza for lunch for one of their departments. I mean, like, these are great things that get their attention because guess what? No one else is doing it. But if you want to stand out from your competition, if you want to go above and beyond and be remembered, oh yeah, KIRK from Rescue Site, man, that guy's awesome. He paid for our lunch. Like, the whole department, he paid for our lunch. That's amazing. Did we hire him yet? So, like, those are conversations that are going to be happening because you're doing things that no one else is doing. Can you got any other examples or want to add to that?
I would just say think out of the box.
Yeah.
Depends on what your industry is. But find things that they'll appreciate and give them stuff they actually want to get. So if you're working with a gym, maybe, like, depending on the kind of gym, here's an example. Like a yoga studio, maybe you don't want to send them, like donuts. There's a lot of places like that are like vegan.
Send them some weed or something.
Okay.
CBD. Did I say weed?
But
CBD.
Specific for their industry. So, just think about what is going to be beneficial for that actual client, something that they'll like. If you find out that they go to Chick-fil-A, a lot of people go there, get them Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Versus like sending them something that's like logoed that they don't really care to use.
They don't care about your logo. They don't. And if anything, I would put their name on something as a gift.
Now, I will say a logo use that I thought was very clever and that I did like was we were at some kind of like banquet or event. And it was I think Chamber of Commerce event. And they had sponsorships, large sponsorships like hospitals and things like that. And one of the sponsors had taken the desserts. Instead of putting like a title or tag or something next to it, like all the other sponsors had, it was on the dessert.
Like, it was an
edible. So it was like the fondant edible of their logo.
Pretty smart.
And so it was something that was it was memorable. It was something that tasted good, and it got their logo across. That stuck a lot more, and I remembered the company in a way that I didn't remember the other companies.
Is that Children's?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have no problem. giving them a free
Yeah.
plug here. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta is who it was.
Whereas all the other, and I
even remembered it.
I don't remember who the other sponsors were. They
That's
were
true.
like on wine bottles
That's
and
so true.
on your brochure. I don't know who they were, but I remember Children's Healthcare was
Everyone saw that dessert. That's right.
And they stared at it the entire meal until they got to eat it.
I think okay. Whenever we're sponsoring anything, it's
Take
officially desserts.
Yeah. It's a good way to go about it.
I think I just had a moment.
Awesome. After sitting there all night looking at it didn't click yet.
Well, I mean, like, what? This is 6 months after the fact, and we're still talking about it.
Yeah, it's memorable.
Genius.
What are you gonna look at all night?
Yeah,
the dessert.
until you get to it. It's like, I can't wait to finish my meal. When is the meal gonna start? Oh my gosh!
Everyone's
the meal's finally here.
Yeah,
I like that. Oh, we're totally gonna do that. Okay.
No one's gonna want anything but dessert now. For like,
if you're taking notes, write that down, because figure out the Chamber of Commerce in your area, and that's the hidden gem when it comes to business. I'm telling you.
Well, and you could do that too with like, say cookies for a place of business. You can get the fondant toppers for that, and either have something that celebrates them if there's some anniversary that you're talking about, or just have your logo on there. You could probably honestly do that with donuts. I'm sure that they'd be willing to do some kind of design with some of the drizzle stuff they put on there. So get creative. You could have someone with pizza write something on the pizza and like pepperoni or something.
Creativity is where it's at.
So
I love it. Inbound visits. So these are for people who have a physical location, brick and mortar. Mortar. Because they're all going to die. Sorry. So if you have a brick and mortar location, congratulations. You now have a base for the public to be able to come.
Gee.
I don't even know where. Have you ever started a sentence and just really not know where you're going to end?
I was about to say, I think
you're like Joe Biden right now.
I feel like you're far enough away from your mic that you're having trouble. Not everyone's hearing you, but okay. Yes, you're.
I was Joe Biden in it.
No, I was going to say The Office. That's much more PC.
Kind of. Sorry, we got to be politically correct.
My God.
We got a worldwide audience here. But hey, like. Everyone sees it.
You're like Michael from The Office going, I start a sentence and I have no idea where it's going. It surprises even me.
That's why I married her, because she keeps me straight. Inbound visits. So this is another sales opportunity. An inbound visit is someone who has not only like potentially called you, but like went the extra mile to call. Like think about, like maybe not so much now, but like the traditional car sales, right? I mean, you have a dealership, people come to you, they're in your, brick and mortar location, and they're going to buy most likely because they took time out of their day to either get a babysitter, bring the kid, whatever.
Be window shopping. I don't know. I know people.
Sure. But on the whole, most people are not going to waste their time at a dealership if they're not a buyer. On the whole. I'm sure there's window shoppers. I get it. Especially when you put a Tesla dealership in a mall. I mean, there's going to be window shoppers. But that's a whole nother story. Hey, listen, if you're just now joining us, thank you so much for joining Rescue Owners Live, where we teach you how to grow your business more effectively, efficiently, and profitably, all while achieving your personal, professional, financial goals. If you haven't done so already, take a quick minute, hit that share button. We are streaming live to you on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Like our channel, subscribe, like our page, but hit that share button, because I guarantee someone in your network needs to hear what we're talking about tonight, which are your sales opportunities. Number 8, website. How many people have a website?
Yeah, you're just bashing the websites.
Hey, listen, you got to have a place where people can go. So like social media is great. Why? Because when you have that social media platform, people find you on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all the places. Guess what?
Possible. Go ahead.
They're going to click. They're going to see you. Man, you just. I'm thinking LinkedIn specifically. They find your name on LinkedIn and they look at, you know, your work experience, and at the very top is you as the founder of XY Rescue Site Services. That's me. And when they click that, there's a link right to the website. And that's the best way, you know, you make everything work together. Okay, you go ahead and just take it off. Go ahead.
All I was going to say is that you want a way for them to buy on your website. So you don't want it to just be a brochure. You want it to be a place where they can purchase or at least get a quote, like if nothing else. If it's something where you can't just have set prices and you really need to quote out what they need, like, you know, maybe someone who does gutter services, and you really need to see what their building looks like, or roofing or something like that. But you should definitely have a way for them to contact you, and if possible, they should have a way to purchase, set an appointment, have that kind of contact.
Rescue Site has so many verticals, so it's a little bit. Our website is a little. If you look at it, it's a little bit more informational than.
There's still a store.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's still a way to immediately buy.
What I was hearing you say was e-commerce is the next thing we're going to talk about. But as far as the website is concerned, being convertible.
Being able to convert on the website.
Yeah, like having not necessarily ClickFunnels or Nurture Click or whatever. You got all kinds of options out there, but you can, on a traditional WordPress or Wix or whatever you're using. When I go on a website, you really want to ideally hone in on, you know, give them like two options.
There should be some call to action.
That call to action is going to be the thing that gets you a lead. Because when they click on that button, they're going to fill out their first name, last name, email, phone number, and maybe a couple industry-specific questions that you have for them. And then, boom, you're going to hit them up with a call, text, and maybe that's automated so you can, you know, be really on top of things, and then call them.
Well, whatever your main objective is, that is what your call to action should be. That's not to say there's not other things that they could do on your website. But if your main objective is to, let's say, book a call, to be able to figure out what the best what the best product is going to be for them, then your call to action should be book a call. But if they can purchase a product on your site, you're product based, and you don't really need to have a call with them in order for them to purchase your product, then your call to action should be get your widget here, like, right, or order now, or whatever. Something to push them towards purchasing the product. But you should have a really clear call to action. You should know what that should be for your industry.
Right. And that kind of jumps into our marketing execution workshop, which talks a little bit more about how to position yourself. This is more about sales, and I don't want to get too in the weeds regarding your website. But the next part of the website, which is kind of an extension of, it could be one and the same, or it could be a completely different platform. For us, is a completely different platform that we have integrated with our website, and that is an e-commerce store. So another sales opportunity is your e-commerce store. People can't buy from you unless they have a way to buy from you.
Yeah.
Sounds simple, but I mean, man, you ought to have a way for people to transact with you like that. You can fulfill it on the back end, however slow or fast you need to do so, preferably fast. But e-commerce is such an important aspect of your business, because without it, first of all, everyone's buying stuff online. Everyone's buying stuff online, and on these things. Right,
and just like you stated with the calls earlier, where you were talking to one person, and the time that you got to the next call that had called your personal line, they had already bought. And so same thing, even more so online. If I go online to a store where I want to purchase some shoes, let's say I want to buy some On Cloud shoes. Everyone keeps saying, I think they're just On. I say On Cloud. I'm not sure if that's right. Anyway, and I go like
first and last name.
Yeah, basically. I think Cloud is the make. Model.
Like make and model.
Yeah. So if I go onto my favorite website to buy some shoes and I can't transact there, do you think I'm going to go through the process of saying, hey, I wasn't able to make this purchase, if there's somewhere else I can buy? No, I'm probably going to go to the next place that I can purchase from, Amazon or otherwise, and place an order.
Because it's
and
easy.
They're going to have lost.
Because it's easy. So if your process to purchase is hard, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Especially too with prices. Again, unless you absolutely cannot give a price without talking to someone, you should have your prices listed.
Dude, absolutely. And like one of our, 6 core values is transparency, and that should be part of your transparency. You shouldn't have to find or, beg for numbers. I absolutely hate, like, it's a real turnoff when I go to a website and I'm just curious, hey, how much does it cost to, be a member of this gym? It's like, no, I got to fill out an article. I got to, it's like, oh my gosh, dude. I just want to know if it's in my budget.
It depends on the industry. I would say certain ones, it makes more sense to not necessarily have things listed because of how your funnels work and stuff. But on the whole, if you're a service-based industry like a gym or a product or whatever, you should have your prices listed.
Yeah. Next thing is social media inbound. Okay. Social media is very powerful, and you can get inbound leads when people view your story. You have a list of people that viewed your story. Guess what?
True.
You can message each and every one of them. Hey, you saw my story. Want to see if you had any questions about blah, blah, blah. And that's it. I mean, I guess that's an outbound. So 10 and 11 are social media inbound and outbound. So I'll kind of cover both at the same time. So outbound is this, okay, me seeing an opportunity to reach out. Okay, that is going to be like someone looks at my story, someone likes a post, someone especially shares the post, like comments. Like, these are people that every single time that someone does that, you should reach out to them. If they've already bought from you, great. If they have bought from you and they're liking your stuff,
still say thank you.
I mean, like, they took time out of their day. I know it's like, oh, well, it took a split second to hit the like. Yeah, but they stopped to support you.
Because there's a lot of like people scroll through TikTok and Instagram, whatever, and they decide actively, should I like this? Should I not?
Oh yeah.
They take a second to think about that, and they don't like everything. People aren't liking all the stuff that they scroll past.
I know people who like every single thing that I post. I know people that have never liked a single thing, but I know that they're watching. And I know that they're, because of the analytics, I can see it, right? I can literally see who all is watching. And it's pretty interesting to see the type of people that are so consistent with watching and keeping up with what we're doing, but never supportive with a like, share, follow, any of that. So, I mean, it's very interesting. So that is, I would say, your outbound, social media outbound. Now, the inbound is when they see something and they go the extra step and look up either yourself personally, your business page, whatever, and say, I want to send a message to this person.
You have a call to action of some sort. Maybe you say, hey, if you were interested in more information, fill out this form. If you'd like to set up a call, fill out this form. You have a poll on or question and answer on your story, and they respond to it. If they make a comment on your post, sometimes people will say, hey, if you want to learn more, comment below. Any of that kind of stuff, getting engagement on social media is super important. If you at all possibly can. For some industries, it's easier than others. Especially if you can do very like popular content where people are asking questions. So like if it's a product where people don't always know how to use it, doing product like how-to videos, that's going to have a lot of people, A, being like, oh, thank you so much. That was so helpful. And B, they may be like, hey, you know what? Now that I see you're doing how-to videos, I was also wondering how you do X, Y, Z. And you're like, oh, awesome. I will do a video about that. So you got more content that you're pushing out.
Every one of your frequently asked questions, and you should make a list, by the way, is a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Seriously, what's the first thing you do when you don't know how to do something? How to ... on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you want to be that person that pops up when they type that in, and figure out exactly what to type it in and make that the title of your video. And then, market the heck out of it. And then you're going to get some traction.
Yeah.
Service calls. So let's say, you're a landscaper and you do mow and blow, right? And it's a set fee, but man, they really need to have their yard edged, or man, they really have a situation with their bushes that needs to be trimmed, or man, they could really use some fresh mulch or pine straw. Like these are all upsells. These are all things that are sales opportunities. And so on that service call, you get to see that person face to face potentially, have that conversation. Maybe you don't see them face to face. And when you text them a picture of the finished lawn, you're like, hey, just wanted to let you know, I noticed that several of your bushes are a little overgrown, and I would love to, offer to do that for you at this price point. Would you like me to add that on to next week's, schedule? Oh man, that's awesome. I didn't even think about that. That'd be awesome if you could take care of that for me. Boom. That's a sell. Mm-hmm. Defibrillators. We do AED checks. That is an automatic external defibrillator. Those are the things that shock your heart back in rhythm. Rescue site. That's what we do. So part of our rescue site AED program, we do monthly checks and annual inspections. And so that's a service call. That is a great opportunity for us to say, hey, I see that you have some new employees. Would you like to go ahead and schedule a training for, get them all trained in CPR? Would you like to do a quarterly test where we test the skills of, how well they all respond to an emergency situation in the workplace? Just like fire drill. I mean, these are great like upsells that you can do for clients, and that's all done on a service call. So you're there face to face doing something else that you're doing for them, but it's an opportunity to upsell them for another service that you offer, right? 13, one of my favorites. You're going to be like, what? Complaints. Complaints are sales opportunities. I love complaints. And the reason why is because this is where you have the opportunity to shine. This is where you have the opportunity to literally show how amazing you are, your company is, your process for handling complaints, and rolling out that red carpet like we talked about earlier. Because most people, when they're at the stage of giving a complaint, man, they're not happy. They're not happy. You might get cussed out. You might, get threatened. You might, all these things. But if you're able to kind of take that and know how to properly respond, which we talk about all this kind of stuff in, the sales execution workshop, but if you know how to properly respond, man, this is a powerful sales opportunity to be able to diffuse the situation, fix the problem, and then upsell them to a potential service that, hey, let's say, the options between a DIY, do it yourself, a done with you, and then a done for you. Maybe they're down here on a DIY option and they're really mad because they were expecting the done with you or the done for you. And it's like, you now have an opportunity to fix that problem and upgrade them to where they need to be to solve the problem that they actually have. Yeah. And man, they're so happy that they're like, man, I thought I was getting this, and guess what? That's my fault, not yours. I did a bad job of explaining the features, benefits, and advantages to the product, level that I was selling. So that's on me as a salesperson. That's on you as a salesperson. Mm-hmm. And so if you can take full responsibility, which by the way, when that complaint comes in, hey, I just want you to know that I hear what you're saying. I take full responsibility. Say those words. I take full responsibility, and I want to make sure that, by the end of this call, we get this handled. That's my commitment. How does that sound? Well, that sounds good. Yeah, I want to deflect.
Have you seen those commercials before?
Yeah, I think so.
They're like, would you like that? That was too easy. Did you want to fight a little bit? Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
Well, we can't take this back without a receipt. Well, I don't have a receipt.
Those are funny commercials.
Yeah, they were funny.
Oh man, got two more sales opportunities for you. Number two, second to last one is email campaigns. So you need to build your list. You need to build your email list. These are people that you've spoken to. These are people that have filled out something on your website. These are people that you've sold. These are people that you haven't sold. Like whatever, and you can section them out however you want to. But bottom line is you need to have an email list where you can send an email blast as frequently or as infrequently as you want. And depending on the type of person that they are, so maybe they're a client of yours, maybe you send them more frequent emails, or maybe you send them less. Maybe they're not a client of you. And again, you got to figure out if I can send them more or less because they're not a client or they are a client. That's your decision to make. But having email campaigns is so important because that, like, is KIRK still in business? I haven't heard from him in a while, right? I haven't seen him post in a while. I post multiple times a day, but guess what? People don't see it, right? Because this is just part of the algorithms. So you got to hit them on multiple mediums, emails, phone calls, face-to-face visits, letters, pizza delivery. I mean, like anything you can think of, emails is one of those options as a sales opportunity. And the last thing I want to talk to you tonight about is your competition's clients. Yes, sales opportunities is what we're talking about. The last sales opportunity is your competition's clients. They're ripe for the taking. And guess what? It is not unethical. And I'll tell you why. Because if your competition is not doing a good enough job serving them, and you show them that you are that person that can fulfill the service that they actually wanted, guess what? You earned their business. And they lost their business because they didn't hold up their end of the deal, right? So that's all part of the name of the game. And so, what are you trying to do?
Just making sure our mics were still working.
We have a issue with mics?
Mine was saying that, but I didn't know if it's just for mine.
Oh, okay, cool. All that to say is there's all kinds of opportunities, sales opportunities out there. And so, in conclusion, and I'll just land this plane, take this home. I would like for you to, go through this, a little exercise. I would like for you on your own time tonight to take a few minutes, write out the sales opportunities that you are currently using. Okay. That's step number one. Step number two, I want you to write down the sales opportunities that you're not using. Okay. When you do both of those, and I mean, this can get really in depth. All right. You know what you're using, what you're not, and then figure out what's working, what's not, and then figure out, hey, can I optimize this one, or is this optimized? I mean, but the first thing I want you to do is take a second and figure out, hey, which of those 15, or maybe there might be some out there that I didn't mention. Okay. Mm-hmm. This isn't an all-inclusive list. This is kind of high-level overview. So take a second and write down the sales opportunities that you are using, sales opportunities that you're not using, and then now you got a whole list of opportunities over here that you can start hitting up this next week, this next month, this next year. So all that to say, thank you for joining us on Risky Owners Live, Season 2, Episode 23. My name is KIRK. You're on with the one and only Beth MOTE, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Until then, be great.